Hi, this is Chelle of Chelle's Creations, and today I want to talk with you about ways that you can tweak the CU Halloween scatters. Scatters usually happen because we just pick something up and kind of drop it on there, and that's what I did when I made these scatters. I picked up a handful of these little candies and just dropped them and let them lay where they land. Sometimes that works great for when you're using them, and sometimes it doesn't, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is how you can tweak them to make it work for what you're scrapping. And so first up, I have this layout that I've completed, and I want to take the pumpkins. Let's do the pumpkin scatter. Let's just go ahead and throw it on here. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a shadow style. I think I want about a small flower because I want it to look like they've just been kind of thrown on there. And I'm going to put it at about right here. Okay, I'm going to hold down my Alt key and then I'm going to click. And when you hold down your Alt key, you'll notice you get that little black and the little white arrow. That means we're going to duplicate it. Click on it and drag it to where you want the next one. I want a couple of them over here. But I think I'm going to rotate them just a little bit. In fact, let's try something like that because I want just a few on this edge. Okay, and then double click, and then I'm going to again hold down Alt and click and drag and put some right over here in this corner. So now I have them in kind of those three places. Okay, but what I wanted to talk with you about is tweaking it to make them work because sometimes they fall in kind of awkward spots. For example, I really like this one up here, especially where I have that spare space around the baby, but I don't want the one that's right there on his forehead. And so I'm going to talk with you about how I tweak them. And I tweak them when I'm scrapping and I tweak them when I'm designing. You can use any selection tool, like the rectangular marquee tool or the lasso tool work great. I'm going to do rectangular marquee tool first. And make sure you have the layer selected that is the scatter that you're going to mess with. I'm going to go ahead and draw that rectangle around it. Now, if I'll hold down the Command or Control key and move my cursor over top of that one piece inside of there, you'll see that my cursor turns into a little pair of scissors. When it's a little pair of scissors, then you can click and drag and move it to somewhere else. And I'm going to move it to right over here. Okay, and then you need to deselect that area so we don't mess with it again. So that's Command or Control D to deselect. Okay, I really kind of want to move this one also. So this time, because they're so close, it would be hard to get it with the marquee tool. So I'm going to use the polygon lasso tool and select that one. Same thing, once you've got the selection, hold down your Command key and we'll just move that one just a slight bit over there. Now, in that way, I can move them away from the areas that I want, but also I kind of wish there were a few more over here. So I'm going to go back to the rectangular marquee tool and I'm going to go ahead and pick this one. Hold down your Command key and click on J. Command J duplicates the selection on a new layer. I like that one, and I think I'm going to do, let's see, that one has the top pointing down. And let's see, how about this one right here? I'm going to take this one. Now make sure you go back to that same original layer and do Command J again. Now I have a couple of extra little pieces there. I'm just going to slide those over here where I want them. The important thing to note when you are duplicating them is that you don't want to change the angle too much. You can change it a little bit, but if you change it a lot, it will, because all of these little pumpkins when they were put together had the light coming from the same direction. If you twist them all upside down, it starts to make them look fake or weird to you, and you won't necessarily be able to pick up on why they look weird. It'll just not quite look right to you, and the reason is because the light is not the right direction. I'm going to duplicate that one and put one more over here. Remember that when you throw them down, they aren't evenly spaced, so don't always evenly space them. Okay, there we go. Now that's what I would do to tweak the Halloween scatters. Now if I were designing, let's play with this one. First, I'm going to change this canvas size to 12 by 12 because when I'm designing, that's what I want. And then in order to be able to see these cute little bones, I'm going to just borrow the background right here so that I can see them. Let me put it behind. There we go. Okay, same thing. If I were designing and I didn't want my scatter to look exactly like the one that came with the kit, I would just go into this layer and I would pick some and I'd say, okay, I'm going to pick that one and duplicate it. And then I'm going to pick these right here. And the same thing, if you hold down Command, once you click on it, oh, we got to go back to our original layer. Once you click on it to move it just a little bit, now if you'll go back to the Move tool, they're selected and you can play with it. Remember, you can change the angle, but only change it a little. Don't, in other words, I would say less than 45 degrees. Go somewhere around 20 to 25 degrees to be able to change it. And you could move those. Let's see, I don't know if I want them all the way over here. You know, I think I'm just going to leave them down there for a minute. And click to confirm and then deselect. And then let's grab, how about these three right here? And put them up in this space and then deselect. And now let's move these back into this space up here. Okay, let's move these guys right here. I'm going to move them over there. All right, now I duplicated that one. Let's grab a hold of him because I can't remember where he went. Let's go ahead and duplicate one that is more up and down. And I got the one that's side to side, and let's go one that goes this angle also. Now let's play around with some of those others and scatter them around a little bit. I want one over here. This one is duplicated here. And now I just play with them a little bit and go, okay, let's put another one up there. Let's put another one kind of right next to this guy. Be careful about having them overlap. If they overlap, then you have to play with the shadows. But they can be super close to each other because really when you throw a scatter, a lot of times that happens, that they will end up really close together. And you can, remember, you can change the angle on them, just don't change it too much. I want them to be a little bit different than the others, but I don't want to move it too much. That's why I chose all three of these for duplicating. I want something else down in this space right here. Let's go back to our original layer. And let's try these two right here. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so I can grab the ones I want. Let's duplicate those. And then let's drag them down here. Okay, and that's how you put together your own scatter. If you're not, for designing, it's how you could make the scatters unique and make them your own. If you have any questions, you can reach me at shells.creations1@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.